Hello, my friends. I wasn't sure I was going to do another reading. And then the flexible card popped out. Number 19. Let's see, where are we? Here we go. Lately, I'm finding the protection messages from the Oracle deck seem to apply more than the regular ones, but I try to read them both so you can make up your own mind. Flexible. Teachability, open-mindedness, being adaptable without compromising what's most important. The Oracle's message: a tree's roots are solidly planted in the ground, yet its branches can bend in a hurricane, whereas a rigid structure, like a building, would come crashing down. Consider how the tree remains supple and secure when everything around it may be in shambles. This is how you need to be now, willing to learn new things, teachable, malleable, yet firmly grounded in who you are. Common sense is important, but so is an open mind. Stay curious, stay open, stay aware. At this time, others will be more flexible with you too. All right, let's see what the protection message has to say. When you or someone else becomes too rigid, you lose the access to growth and untapped potential and find yourself in an us versus them scenario. Loosen up, open your mind and heart, and see if a more flexible approach feels better. Rigidity will set you up for a fight where there are only losers and no winners. Could you find a way to bring about a result that is mutually beneficial? Meet in the middle. Spirit makes a great mediator. Honestly, that sounds like the wounded masculine. The protection one, but, Anyway, let's see what the fish has to say. This is very interesting because I think the fish is quite different. And wow, I just opened right up directly to it. I didn't have to search this time. Oh my gosh. Restlessness, change of focus, lost in the current. The fish loves to be subsumed in life's current. Nothing pleases it more than movement, and more movement. The roaming lifestyle of the fish may be exhilarating for a while, but usually leads to weariness and slippery relationships. With all the possibilities out there in the vast waters, the fish becomes lost without clear goals and intentions. Sounds like the fish can't commit to anything. All right. Spend some time with the lunar forces, dear fish, as the peace and calm of the moon will soothe your soul. In other words, you need some more of the feminine influence here. Groundedness. When in balance, adaptable and travels well. When out of balance, distracted, changes mind often. To bring into balance, set a small goal and accomplish it. All right, my dear fish, you sound like you might have ADHD. Anything else we need to know to confirm that this is your reading? Let's try the tea leaves. Feather. Ooh. All right. We're not off to a great start here. At least it's a lot of warnings for you. Although there is some good news. That's way too many cards. All right. Perhaps this is you. Perhaps this is something you already know. It's supposed to help you identify whether or not this is your reading. So hopefully you already know this stuff. You should already know this stuff. All right. Someone you know is undependable and insincere. I should read the cards names, I guess. Feather. Someone you know is undependable and insincere. They're probably insecure too. Angel, spiritual guidance, protection from harm. So at least you're protected, I guess, right? Claw, be careful, do not take risks. And Gong, an exciting event. Exciting can mean risky. Purse, pay attention to your finances. Dog barking, advice from a friend. I'm not sure it's good advice, honestly. Dogs barking, that just doesn't sound like good advice. It sounds like a lot of noise. And they have figured out that dog barking almost always just means hey, 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 hey. So, like I said, I'm not sure this advice is good advice. Hopefully you know that. Casket, someone going out of your life or the end of a situation. Well, if someone has left your life, I hope it is not in a casket. But if it is, my condolences. And it may just be a job loss, perhaps. There's unfortunately far too much of that going on. And not that it's good, but it's not as permanent as someone leaving in a casket. So, I would be very careful about who you're taking advice from, but perhaps you've realized that it's not necessarily worth listening to. And hopefully this helps you to know whether or not this is your reading. Remember, the focus of your reading is flexibility. So being open-minded, being adaptable, and teachable, being willing to learn, and also willing to meet in the middle, to compromise. Don't be rigid. All right. What do you think is the most important thing to talk about? What is on your mind right now? Why did you tune into this reading? What is your main issue? King of Swords in reverse. Seven of Cups, Two of Pentacles. All right, King of Swords in reverse. My way or the highway kind of person. Not terribly honest, definitely domineering, or wants everything their own way. And crossing that is the Seven of Cups. So Seven of Cups is the probably inaccurate belief in having a lot of options. So there's confusion, there's a belief in things that aren't real. I don't mean in the sense of, believing in things you can't see or feel or touch like the divine or love, but believing that there are choices available to you that are good choices, perhaps, and the illusion is that either they're not available to you at all, or they're not good choices. They're not what they appear to be. So some of the choices may actually be bad choices, but they may look good. The other thing that's going on is you just believe, or you may believe, that you have a lot of options. And so the Two of Pentacles is typically about change. And we have here these two skulls that attach to skeletons that look like they are very, very connected, involved, focused on each other. But the butterfly on their heads is, the butterfly is a symbol of change, transformation even. So this is, on the one hand, a much more transformative Two of Pentacles than usual. And on the other hand, it's also a much more romantic looking Two of Pentacles. It looks like this is a very intimate looking picture, which I don't usually associate with pentacles. So, transformation, change, of course. Two of Pentacles is always about change. And there seems to be a relationship involved here. So that would be your main focus, I guess. Who is this King of Swords? Okay. Tell me about the King of Swords. What do you need to know about the King of Swords? What do you, the viewer, need to know about this King of Swords? Nothing so far. All right, we've got a couple of cards here. I think we need some more. Please clarify. I think there's a child. Six of Pentacles. Generosity, reciprocity, paying for services rendered, perhaps paying for a mentor. Yeah, perhaps so. Nine of Cups. Please clarify the Nine of Cups. Six of Cups. Alright, so this Nine of Cups is most definitely about desensitizing yourself, numbing yourself through, well, alcohol's the primary suspect, but it could be other substances or activities as well. Gaming and phone use are also addictions. I heard somebody call computer games Xanax, digital Xanax, I think they called it. So you can't rule that out either. So instead of rapid progress, we have someone desensitizing themselves through whatever means necessary so they can avoid making progress, dealing with their deceptive, dishonest behavior. I had a Page of Wands come out in another reading, and it seemed to be a child who needed some help. That may be what's going on here too. Now we have a King of Wands in a crossing position. Who is this king? King of Swords in reverse, that could be anytime you get a court card in reverse, there's potential for some really bad behavior. Now we have the Page of Wands in reverse. I think this King of Wands is actually a Page of Wands. There's the Page of Wands too. Or this Page of Wands is a child of the King of Wands. Four of Pentacles. Wait a minute, where'd that come from? That's not supposed to be here. Okay, never mind. King of Wands, Page of Wands. Okay, so this King of Wands is very concerned about the Page of Wands in reverse. Again, I'm getting the sense of a child who needs help. And a father. Or someone who plays the role of father. You don't have to be male. I can tell you that in my family, my mother was definitely the one who wore the pants. So, Knight of Wands now. All the wands are showing up. This is very odd. Perhaps a Knight of Wands is trying to become a King of Wands, or is being forced to by the needs of this child. That'll cause you to grow up in a hurry. Three of Pentacles. It's a lot of work, collaboration. Or maybe you're just, the main focus is on work. Yeah, Three of Wands. But expansion, creativity, desire for new possibilities. All right. That's, wow. All right, whoever this King of Swords in reverse was, I think is a really bad person. And I think what you need to know now, well, I'm just going to pull my Sacred Path cards because I think you already got recommendation for flexibility. And it looks like you're going through a really tough time. And obviously that will call for flexibility and strength. The Oracle deck likes to use the imagery of the tree, but perhaps the imagery of the reed is a better one because reeds are more flexible, much more flexible than trees. Trees can be uprooted and destroyed in hurricanes, but the reeds will probably survive. So I would recommend to be more like a reed or grass. Prayer. Kind of brings us back to the Hierophant. So this can be a spiritual mentor, a teacher, a guide. Prayer, inner peace. It may be that this is not a time for meditation, that prayer is a better approach for you right now. I really don't have anything to add to this, or at least I can't think of anything. All right. Have faith. I think that's all I have to add to this. Things will get better. I am wishing you all the best. Good luck.